Hey, how's it going? Today we're going to do another recipe video. I'm not really sure if this is a recipe so much as a technique. And it's kind of one of those things where I just had a bunch of ingredients laying around and I just need to make something. So here's what we got. Here is kind of a sofrito. There are chopped up onions, some garlic, and on the bottom is like a little mildly spicy green pepper that was chopped up. Here's a big block of frozen garbanzo beans. I made these garbanzo beans, I don't know, 2 months ago or a month ago or something like that. And these were some leftovers. They're unseasoned, maybe cooked with a little bit of salt. But they're just, plain old garbanzo beans that were cooked, not from the can. They were dry originally. Here is a frozen block of peeled tomatoes at my local supermarket. Just a few days ago, maybe a week ago, maybe something like that. They had some tomatoes on sale in the bargain bin where, they have like the half-rotten fruits and vegetables or things that are just about to go rotten. So I bought a whole bunch of these tomatoes that were just about to go bad, and then I took them home and peeled them and then froze them. And these are just, I think, three big fat frozen tomatoes. And in the pot over here, we've got some olive oil going right now. So this is going to be kind of like a garbanzo bean stew type of thing. Kind of like a pasta-y sisi, like a garbanzo bean pasta, but I don't think I'm going to put pasta in there. I think I'm just going to cook this for now and then decide what to do later. In the fridge, I also have some fresh fennel. Or it was fresh at one point, maybe a few days ago. Now it's starting to go wilted a bit. I think I'll probably add that fennel at the end. But let's get started. So we're going to toss the sofrito in. The olive oil, I think there are maybe the equivalent of 2 or 3 tablespoons of olive oil in there. Add like a half teaspoon of salt, something like that. And then we're going to mix this around, and I'm going to bring it up to medium heat. That's just to wake up the vegetables a little bit. Again, this is a technique video. This is not really a particular recipe. Maybe we'll toss in some freshly cracked black pepper into the mix. This grinder is a little slow when it comes to making black pepper, so it looks like I'm putting in a lot, but it's actually not that much. I can show you. You can take a look. I guess you can't see so well, but yeah, whatever. Just some black pepper in there. A little crooked, but that's okay. Woo! Those onions are giving off their sulfur. Tame this a little bit. Tame down these veggies. We'll let that go for about 3 or 4 minutes, something like that. Again, like I said, this is just technique. Nothing special. Oh, wow, look at my spice rack. Ooh. Yeah, thinking about spices, I was thinking maybe I'll put in some, what should we put in there? Because we could put some paprika. I was thinking about putting in smoked paprika, but then smoked paprika kind of just takes control of everything. So I think I'm just going to use just some regular old sweet paprika. I like paprika, it's great. Maybe, I don't know what that is. 3/4 of a teaspoon, maybe, something like that. We're just kind of fooling around here. We don't know what we're doing. I mean, I know what I'm doing technique-wise. Why do I put the paprika in at this point in the cooking? Well, it's to help wake the oils up in the paprika. So that is going. Shall we put some dried herbs? I don't know. Maybe some oregano? Or maybe something just different that I don't use very often. We have some, what's this? Oh, that's not, I don't know, tarragon leaves, but it's not tarragon. Oh, here's some fennel seeds. Ooh, yeah, why not? I'm going to have fresh fennel in there. Maybe some fennel seeds. I'll put these in the... I'll put these fennel seeds into the old mortar and pestle to kind of smash those up a little bit. Again, you know, we always want to wake up our spices. A little bit of a grind in the old mortar and pestle. That helps to waken things up. It's kind of an interesting smell. It's just one of those days like, oh, what am I going to do? I don't know. Let's just throw some stuff into a pot and see what happens. So that's coming along very nicely. Okay. Now you can see I got these 3 tomatoes. They're just frozen in a big chunk. What should I do? You think I should cut these up? Maybe I will. And there's liquid in the bottom. This is all tomato. Well, you can't see, I guess. So there you go. Yeah, here's some liquid in the bottom. That's just the water that naturally came out of these tomatoes. So I'm gonna keep that because it probably has some flavor in it. And we're gonna chop up these tomatoes. Not too much, just a rough chop, because they're gonna be in this pot, getting cooked down, and they are already peeled. Oh wow. Ha! It looks like a big solid block, but it actually cuts up very easily. I can show you right now. Look at that. They just cut up so easily. I'm like, I could do it one-handed while I'm holding the camera in another hand. My gosh. Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. That'll be just fine. What a mess. Yeah, you can tell that this is all we're doing this off the cuff. Just kind of getting in there just for fun. So here come the tomatoes. Watch out. I'm going to crank up the heat because these still have ice crystals all over them. And we're going to add this extra water. I'm not going to be adding any water from a bottle or whatever from the sink. I'm just going to use the moisture that's already in all of these ingredients because I also have quite a bit of that garbanzo bean water as well. So that's going to go in there and add a nice little bit of texture, which is always good. You know what? I think I'm going to spice this up a little. Let's see. I'm looking in the fridge. I'm looking for some dried red peppers. Unfortunately, there are no dried red peppers in the fridge. I usually have some. I think I have some dried red peppers down here somewhere. Or up here. Or over here. Huh. Yeah. Ooh, nutritional yeast. That might be good in there too, huh? Oh, well, whatever. Here I have, it's always a good idea to save your Parmesan cheese rinds. And you can see I've got a huge bag full of Parmesan cheese rinds. There's also, it's Parmesan and also Gran Padano. And, they're both basically the same thing. Parmesan and Gran Padano. I was looking it up a month or two ago. What's the difference? I put 3 in here. Why not? Heck, I could even put 1 more. Why not? I've got so many. Don't be stingy. If you've got Parmesan cheese rinds sitting in your in your freezer and you don't know what to do with them, this is a situation where you can use them. Heck, I'm going to go crazy. Yeah, one more. Boom. So we got 5 Parmesan cheese rinds in there. Each one is about 2 square inches. Right, looking at the difference though between, what's the difference between a Parmigiano Reggiano and a Gran Padano? Well, they're both made from cow cheese, or from cow milk. They're both from the same region of Italy. But if you go to your store, you'll notice that the Gran Padano is generally much cheaper. Like maybe it might be like 70% the price of the Parmigiano. And the reason why is simply because of the denomination of origin. And also, Parmigiano has much stricter standards about the level of fat that's in the milk, where the milk comes from, what the cows ate, and all this stuff like that. That Gran Padano doesn't have. They don't have as many standards like that. Doesn't mean that Gran Padano is substandard, like garbage product. It's a great product. And after learning about this, I thought to myself, you know what then? If Gran Padano and Parmigiano Reggiano are basically the same thing. There's also aging time, but both can be aged for a long time and both can be aged for a short time, but Gran Padano tends to be aged for a shorter time than a Parmigiano Reggiano. But the thing is, so the way I looked at it is, if they're both basically the same thing, just one of them is made under stricter quality standards, and not even quality standards, but just like made a little bit higher quality, then I can go with the medium quality one. And so from now on, I think when I go to buy, I think I'm mostly going to be buying Gran Padano, unless like they have Parmigiano Reggiano like for 2 for 1, which often happens. Well, not often, but sometimes happens. So I'm not really worried about making a sauce per se. I just want to get everything heated up so that when I stick the beans in, which is going to happen pretty soon here, when I stick the beans in, they'll have like a nice hot. It's like turning on a heated blanket before getting into bed. They'll have a nice warm pot, nice warm bed to jump into. And yeah, those cheese rinds are, I can already smell them. Yeah, they're really lending their flavor there. And that is what makes this a vegetarian dish and not vegan. I thought about doing vegan before, but I don't have, I didn't make any vegetable stock. So, I have the stuff to make vegetable stock, I just haven't gotten around to doing it. You know, what is the stuff for making vegetable stock? Vegetable scraps. I just call it garbage soup. All the stuff that I would have thrown in the garbage. Now that it's winter time, it's a lot easier to save food because we have a balcony that's just basically a giant walk-in freezer at this point in time. So you can see I just stuck this whole frozen chunk of garbanzo beans. I just stuck it in there. And we're going to let this go. Everything's already cooked, you know, so we're just going to let this go, let it heat through. I'm probably just going to let it go for half an hour, 40 minutes at the most. The thing about garbanzo beans, though, that's great is that they do hold their shape. Especially these, when you cook them from dry, not canned. Yeah, of course, canned garbanzo beans are great, but you know, I mean, everyone knows that when you make dry beans, it's better than canned, and cheaper too. You know, I'm a huge advocate of beans. You know, it's just amazing. They're so versatile. There's so many different kinds of beans. They're so versatile, they're so cheap, and they're so healthy too. Now, of course, yeah, but they give me gas. Oh, well, you know what? Just, it gives you an excuse to spend some time alone, you know? Which is okay. So, yeah, you can see this happening. I'm going to turn the heat to kind of a low to medium. Put the lid on. And and then we'll come back in maybe 15 or 20 minutes to take a look at how things are going and stir that big old block of frozen garbanzo beans. So we'll see you in a little while. Okay, we're back. It's been about 10 or 12 minutes or something like that. Opening the pot, and yeah, oh, look at that. So the garbanzo beans have melted. We got everything going on in there. You know, I was thinking about what else do I have here? I have some white wine in the fridge. It's from a box of wine. It was the leftover at the bottom of a box, and it was sitting around for a long time. Like I said, we're just tossing everything we got. Everything but the kitchen sink kind of thing. So it looks like I've got about, this is a 500 milliliter bottle, and it's that full, so I don't know, what's that, about 300 milliliters or something like that, white wine. Should we put it in? Let's put half in. So it's 150. Who cares, all of it, right? What are we doing? We're doing whatever we want. I should have, now, if we really want to be serious about technique, I should have put that in after the sofrito and before the tomatoes, and then I should have boiled it down for a while. But like I said before, we're just kind of just playing this by ear. It's improv night. A little leftover black pepper, but actually none of it went in the pot. Oh well. So we're gonna cranked up the heat, and you can see, wow, it's pretty liquidy. So this would be a perfect time. Well, I'm gonna boil it because I want to boil off some of that alcohol. But that white wine really kind of livens it up in here. And yeah, that white wine was sitting in a bag, and the bag was sitting in the balcony, and the sun got to it, so I think it's not really drinkable so much anymore, but it still is sour. And my cat is here. He's a little bit lonely because when I'm here talking to the camera, I'm not talking to him, and he feels left out. So I'm petting him over here. He's a little scared of the stove. Don't worry, we're not going to cook you, buddy. And here we've got some bay leaves. Hit 3. Why not? Well, you never need more than 1. Well, you know what? I'm using 3. Always rinse the bay leaves. You never know, there might be some dust or something on there. And we're tossing those in. And, you know, this is just you cooking. Or me cooking. You're watching me cook. This is just me cooking, man. Just looking around the house. Oh, what do I want to put in there? I don't know. How about this? How about that? How about something else? And we're going to let that go for a while. I'd like to reduce it. I'm going to reduce it by like maybe 40%, something like that. So we'll let it bubble away, and then we'll turn it down, and I'm going to put the lid back on, but not all the way. I'm going to put the lid on like halfway or something. Just let it go. Yeah, that wine, they say, oh, you should never cook with wine that you wouldn't drink. Now, this wine, I would drink it. I would drink it normally, you know, if I hadn't left it in the sun for gosh knows how long. I have another bag of wine. Should I have a little bit just to toast this lovely garbanzo bean dish? Why not? Let's see. There's a little bit of white wine. Perfectly drinkable, this one is, because I kept it in the box and I kept it in a nice dark place. Not getting UV exposure. Let's give it a smell. Smells fine. A little the sip test. Ooh, that is very drinkable. And we're just talking about just some box wine, you know, nothing special. Just some, what is that? Ribot-Pierre. Do you roll the R? I don't know. Ribot-Pierre Chardonnay. Vin de France Blanc. You know, you're like, you go to the restaurant. Oh, I'll just have the house wine. You know what they're going to give you? They're going to give you something out of a box. And there's nothing wrong with that. Right? I know in the United States, a lot of winemakers are, like a few years ago, they took back the twist-off cap. And then a couple years after that, then they took back the box. So there's nothing wrong with box wine. In fact, in a lot of ways, box wine is better because you don't have to drink the whole darn thing. Just leave it in the box. But make sure that you keep the box in a cool, dry place away from the sun. So this is going to come out really good, I think. But I don't know what to do with it. Maybe eat it with some crusty bread. That might be kind of fun. Earlier today, I made some sloppy joes. Today, I just basically, I make something and then I do leftovers of it. So like yesterday, I made some basic like tomato meat sauce for spaghetti. You know, it's like a tomato sauce with ground beef. And I ate some penne with that. It was great. And then I still had like some leftover tomato sauce. So this morning, it wasn't actually morning. I woke up kind of late today. This morning, but I'll call it the morning just to sound like I'm a respectable male. This morning I put that meat sauce back in the pan, and then I added a cup of water and 3 ketchup packets. I don't have any ketchup. I just had some packets laying around. 3 ketchup packets and a good squirt of barbecue sauce. And I cooked that down until it got thick. And I had some burger buns that I put in the oven. And then I ate that on top of burger buns, and it was a sloppy joe. And I haven't had a sloppy... I never liked sloppy joes, you know, in the cafeteria. I haven't had a sloppy joe in... Jeez. Like, definitely not in this millennium. So... It's kind of fun to eat sloppy joes for the first time in a long time. Do you think I'm going to have them again? Probably not. It's not really my thing, but... It's kind of... It's because I had the Lunch Ladyland song stuck in my head for the last week. So I thought to myself, if I eat sloppy joes, then that song will get out of my head. Get out of my head! So, on that note, I think that this can hang out in the pot for a while. Got it on a medium, bit of a rolling boil, if you will. Put the lid half on, just so we don't lose the lid. And then we'll come back here and check it out. I don't know, maybe another 10, 15 minutes or so, see how it's coming along. I want to reduce it. Or at least now, right now I want everything to get to know each other, thicken up a bit. And then at the end, I'm going to crank up the heat and reduce the heck out of it. And then we'll see what we got. So we'll see you in a little while. Hey, we are back. And it's been about 15 or 20 minutes. And we are going to open this up and take a look at what's going on inside. We have lost some liquid. And I forgot to say, I was going to say, but then I interrupted myself. After I put the wine in, there was quite a bit of liquid, and that would have been... Actually, I guess I think probably right now would be a good time to put pasta in if I were making a pasta dish. But I don't think I am going to make a pasta dish right now. So here is one of those cheese rinds that you can see. and it's all softened up and stuff. Some people will just eat it right like that, but I don't think I will. And the color has changed. I think the cheese rinds have kind of given it a certain kind of milkiness or creaminess to it, which is pretty exciting. And I'm just fishing out the cheese rinds right now. We are coming towards the end of this. I'm going to... Oh, is that a cheese rind? Kind of looks like it. Looks like a cheese piece. Yeah. Fishing out the cheese rinds, and then I'm going to add the fresh fennel and then just turn it off and let the fresh fennel kind of cook in the residual heat. There we go. Here is another cheese rind. Thank you for doing your job. You know, and this is just getting a bunch of leftovers together, or things that are kind of a pantry cooking. This could be done with a can. It could be done with canned tomatoes and canned garbanzo beans. In fact, if I've made it with canned garbanzo beans in the past and canned tomatoes to make a nice pasta e cici. I don't know how to, or chichi, probably chichi. A pasta e chichi. We can even get rid of this bay leaf for now. This is a nice big bay leaf, isn't it? Look at that. It's nice. I bought the bay leaves recently, because we ran out, And when you're running out of bay leaves, they're all small and broken and kind of sad. So it's nice to be back in the world of whole bay leaves that are proud. Like a big proud bay leaf. Even though this one's a little bit broken, I'm fishing it out. It's still large and proud. Yeah, get that tomato off of there. Hey, another one. Now we remember how many. Here's a little test. How many bay leaves did I put in here? Well, I think a lot of you are sitting at home or on the subway. You put in 3. Where? Well, you're right. And now I'm looking for the third one. And heck, if I can find it. It's kind of hiding in there. And if you're in one of these situations where you're trying to find something and you can't, sometimes it just means that you should just let it be. Let it stay in there. I checked to see, did it come out with the other one? No. Whatever. The thing is, it's a large bay leaf, so it will be easy to identify in the eating. How could this be? Where does it go? That's odd. I'm checking. Yeah, I got 2 here. I know I put 3 in. I said 3. I thought I counted 3. Yeah, I counted 3. Whatever. It's okay. It's just there. It's not a big deal, right? It'll be found when it wants to be found. So we will go into the refrigerator and grab this old kind of sad fennel. This fennel has seen better days, but it still has its flavor. It's just a little bit mildly desiccated. We'll give it a little rinse, right? We always rinse all of the things that we eat. We always clean our vegetables first. That's how you avoid E. coli. Well rinsed. Give it a little chop. These are the stems. They'll go in first because those are a little bit tougher. I mean, barely, but Ooh, look at the color. Can you see the color? You can see it's beginning to kind of green up a little. Beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Red and green. And the white from the garbanzo beans, although they're not really white, they're kind of off-white, light tan, eggshell, if you will. And this is nice and cut. Yeah, maybe in the future we'll have a 2-camera operation, but for now, we are going for the single camera. How important is it for you to see me cutting up fennel? I don't think it's that important. We'll scrape off the... And look at that, right? We're using what we have to create something new. I did not go to the store today to buy any of these ingredients. These are all just kind of sitting around. Oh wow, look at that texture. That is beautiful. And now the colors are really coming together. That green just kind of wakes everything up in there. And it's got that lovely kind of grassy smell too. That way you know you're eating healthily, right? Does it taste like grass and dirt? Well then, that's how I know it's good. Let's do a little test for seasoning. I'm just gonna get a little bit of that broth. I'm gonna try some more. That tastes good. Yeah, that hum, it was not like a, oh, look what we found. Hey, ta-da. Huh? The third bay leaf. That was not like a hum, I messed this dish up and this is disgusting. It was just kind of thinking and trying to focus my neural network on my tongue. Let's try again. I think it probably could use salt. If you're asking yourself questions, then it probably means you need salt. Oh, that's just really good. I don't think it even needs salt, to tell you the truth, but adding salt is always good. We'll just add salt on the plate. And let's reduce this. See, now I'm in a bit of a conundrum. Like now, this is where things have opened up for me. So, I know I'm not going to eat this today. I'll eat a little bowl, probably. I'll plate it and then show you what it looks like on the plate. But I'm not going to eat it today. But I could have this tomorrow and then just dump some, get it going in a boil, and then dump a package of pasta in there, cook it all up. That would be really, really good. But I don't know. So, it's like, what is this a soup? Is it a stew? Is it a sauce? It's a lot of things. It's a work in progress. It can be whatever you want it to be. And you can be whoever you want to be. Just gonna bring it to a final, get it so that it's really cranked up. And then we'll put the lid on and turn it off. And then maybe I will edit this together. Plate it in a little bowl. And give it a try. It's reduced, I said earlier 40%, but we've got it reduced about 30%, which I think is fine. Bean liquid is the best. Alright. And on goes the lid. Today I thought, what am I going to make today? Lentil soup? This, that, the other thing, and then I remembered, oh yeah, I got these garbanzo beans. So that's just, using what's around to make something great. We'll be back for a tasting very soon. And we are back, and we're going to give this a little taste, see how that goes. It looks spectacular, as chickpeas go. I found a little bit of extra fresh fennel that I put on top just for color. Mixing it up, I did add just a little bit more black pepper. I'm eating it out of one of my favorite bowls. This bowl, one thing that's great about this bowl is it was free. I bought a 6-pack or 5-pack of instant noodles. I can't remember what flavor. It's probably either seafood flavor or pork flavor. And sometimes they sell, they'll add one of these little promotional bowls with the 5-pack or 6-pack. 5-pack? I think it's a 5-pack. So whenever I see that, I always buy that 5-pack, you know, because bowls and dishes, they break. So if you have a chance to get fresh, new ones, might as well. And I don't really like to buy dishes, so it's always nice to get a free one. But anyway, down the hatch. Let's see how this goes. The beans still, the garbanzos still have their texture. All right, that's one of the great things about cooking garbanzos from dry as opposed to canned. But garbanzos still have their texture. The white wine added a little bit of a kind of a tang. That is really good. The fennel kind of gives it the little herbaceous grassiness to it. The tomatoes are still in chunks, so it's not like, you know, using a tomato puree where it just kind of turns into a liquid. You know, we still have some chunks of tomatoes, so we know that they exist. This is fantastic. Now, I said before that it's a type of thing that would be great with some crusty bread. In the past, I would have cooked this. I would have put pasta in there and cooked it all together. But today, I just didn't really feel like having pasta. And as I said before, I had sloppy joes earlier today, so I didn't really feel like eating much bread either. So I'm just eating this as it is. It's kind of just like a light dinner. And you know, honestly, although the chickpeas are already cooked, they could do with more cooking. It'd be fine. And so if I in the future, so tomorrow, for example, if I choose to make pasta e cici, I think that's how you say it, or cici, I don't know. If you are an Italian speaker, you can let us know. I will be able to cook the pasta in there, and it won't turn into a total, like, a bunch of mush. It'll be great. So that's about it for us today. I hope that you found this not only entertaining but also educational. And I hope that you have a great rest of the day and an even better tomorrow. That's me signing off. Take it easy.